действительно сделал такие заявления.
Russia has drawn a hard red line over NATO troops in Ukraine. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has sternly reiterated Moscow's position. Military contingents from NATO member states on Ukrainian territory are unacceptable, even if deployed after the conflict ends. The warning strikes directly at Western plans for Ukraine's post-war security architecture, even after the war.
This is not the first time that it has been said about the intention to deploy military contingents of the countries that are members of the North Atlantic Alliance on the territory of Ukraine.
Peskov's message leaves little room for ambiguity. Moscow is rejecting any attempt to frame a NATO country military presence as merely peacekeeping or post-conflict reassurance. The Kremlin says Russia has repeatedly communicated this position at various levels. Moscow is warning that a ceasefire cannot become a pathway for NATO forces to establish a military presence inside Ukraine.
But in fact, we have repeatedly reiterated our position at various levels that it is unacceptable for us to deploy foreign military contingents of the countries of the North Atlantic Alliance.
The warning comes as the coalition of the willing develops plans for a multinational force that could support Ukraine after a credible cessation of hostilities, according to Western reports. European governments argue that security guarantees are needed to prevent renewed conflict. But Moscow rejects NATO country deployments, putting the two sides at odds over Ukraine's post-war security.
Russia continues to remain open to peaceful means of settlement. But in the absence of such means, we continue the special military operation.
Peskov also delivered another significant message on the war itself. According to the Kremlin spokesman, Russia is not merely hoping for victory in its so-called special military operation. Moscow is confident that victory will come. He added that Russia remains open to peaceful settlement, but said that without such options, the military operation will continue.
I can assure you that we are not only hoping, we are sure that this victory will be.
The message from Moscow is clear. NATO troops remain a red line, whether their deployment is proposed during the conflict or after it. At the same time, Russia says it remains open to peace while continuing its military operation when it sees no viable diplomatic route. With Western countries discussing post-conflict security arrangements and Moscow rejecting NATO contingents, the question of who guarantees Ukraine's future security remains a major obstacle to any settlement and remains unresolved.